Hi everyone, welcome to The Real Review. I'm Conor McRae and this week we will be discussing the recent movie The Martian starring Matt Damon. We will also be talking about the James Bond films including Spectre, and we'll also talk about race and gender representation in film and TV. But first, joining us today in the studio are Charlie and Mohammed. How are you doing, guys?
Hey, thanks for having us, Conor. I'm very excited actually.
You
today.
don't sound that excited.
I'm a huge fan of the show, so I actually am quite excited.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Mohammed, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's great to be here. It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's very nice. So, during a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon, is assumed to be dead after a powerful storm and is left behind by his crew. However, Watney has in fact survived and finds himself stranded and alone on the hostile planet. Critics have said that we are so used to sci-fi movies in which the heroes shoot Martians with ray guns that Scott's botanical approach can't help but seem offbeat and refreshing. It's also been stated that this film could conceivably rekindle interest in the space program and inspire a new generation of future astronauts. Ridley Scott's The Martian had no trouble holding on to the top spot at the UK box office. After 12 days, the film took an impressive £13.21 million. But what's your opinion? Use the hashtag #AreYouForReal to have your say. Next time, we'll be reviewing the new Star Wars The Force Awakens movie, so be sure to watch it on December 18th. To get you excited for the film, here's a quick look at the trailer.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it. I will finish what you started.
Get ready!
For what?
Hi, I'm Georgie Karam, and right now we'll discuss the Bond franchise. Just over a month ago, EOM Productions released their 24th James Bond Spectre. So we thought it would be appropriate to honour the occasion by holding a lively discussion on the Bond franchise. So Charlie, who's your favourite Bond and why are they your favourite?
I'd have to go with Daniel Craig as my favourite. I think, you know, after Pierce Brosnan left, they essentially revamped the franchise, I feel. I mean, they gave it a far more gritty feel and a far more realistic feel, which I think helped to appeal to audiences, especially a younger audience, which is huge now for commercial, profits and stuff. So I think, yeah, Daniel Craig's probably my favourite.
And since Daniel Craig is set to retire his portrayal of Bond, a new face must be cast. So Mohammed, who do you think could fulfil this role?
My opinion could be George Clooney, because the role is made for him, since he is representing the same idol like Daniel Craig is presenting. You know, he's a womanizer and he's everywhere famous, and you know, when I would say, in my words, I would say that he is like a special wine. As older he gets, as more you will enjoy him.
Fair enough. I'll take a glass of George Clooney, please.
Well, this is a big opportunity to change the leading face of Bond. So Charlie, what would you think if the next director was to cast a woman or a black person for this role?
I think for me, a woman, I don't think that would fit the role. I mean, you know, James Bond's based around Ian Fleming's books, and it's a male character, obviously. So a woman for me, I don't think would work. But in terms of ethnicity, I don't really see why there's an issue there. I mean, Idris Elba's odds on to be the favourite for Bond, and I think that would really push the franchise forward, and that is probably the way they should go with the role, to be honest with you.
And Mohammed, what do you think about this?
First of all, I would say that women in action movies or in action roles are common. For example, like Angelina Jolie and Tomb Raider, but everything is dependent to the choice and choose and the taste of the director, because he is producing his movie as a symbol of act. For example, like if he would be a cooker, he would cook his own soup. And
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you very much for that. And after the break, we will continue our discussion on race and gender representation in the industry.
welcome back. Now, there's been a lot of talk about race and gender representation in film recently, and today we want to bring up two films that have caught the media's attention.
That's right. We want to start off by asking the two of you about your opinions on the new Warner Brothers movie, Pan. There's been a lot of controversy around the casting of Rooney Mara for the part of Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily, by the way, guys, is described in J.M. Barrie's book as being Native American, and in the film, obviously, Rooney is clearly Caucasian. So, Charlie, what's your take on that? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, I think that one of the great things about film is it's the director's interpretation of the source material. In this case, it's Peter Pan, obviously. So he's clearly interpreted it in the way that he wanted Rooney to take on the role, and she was great in it. She was fantastic. So for me, there wasn't an issue, but I can see why for hardcore fans it would cause some controversy. Yeah.
And Mohammed, did you see the film? What sort of message do you think would be sent to Hollywood if fans boycotted it?
I would say that there's no message straight to Hollywood, but there's a message straight to the director, because we all know the story, and the story is very old. And you know, the movie is the director's taste and vision. When the fans boycott him, means they don't like the vision the director give out.
That's a very
Fair
good
enough.
point.
Well, in 2014, 93% of the 250 top-grossing films were in fact directed by men. Dr. Martha M. Lowson recently said the percentage of women in key behind-the-scenes roles has been bouncing between 15 and 19% for 17 years now. Mohammed, are there any films that come to mind that contrast that statistic?
The movies which could come into my head would be movies like Sex and the City or The
Bridesmaids.
Yes,
Yep.
Bridesmaids. And those movies, and the reason which could be behind this is that there are too many male in the action movies rather than females, like the movie Avengers.
It's got a huge male cast.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Charlie, there's also been a lot of talk about screen time that women have and their speaking roles. Do you think women are represented in this way because the majority of directors are male?
I mean, that could be said. I mean, it's clear that there are more male directors than there are female, and females are very underrepresented and sexualised in film. But then, having said that, there are some very strong female leads in films that have been directed by male directors. So, you know, you can say it both ways, to be honest with you. Unless you're behind the scenes, you're getting a first-hand look at it. I don't really think you can make a judgment on that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. We're going to have to wrap this up now, but you can join in the discussion online by using the hashtag #AreYouForReal on Twitter. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next week on The Real Review.